So I've been gone for a while. Let me explain. Which knee? I don't know. I'm just pointing at Disney. So let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Let's just get it going. Since this was a school field trip, I'm not going to show you where we first started off at because that's privacy. However, we start here at the beautiful city of Pittsburgh. We would then later cross over a bridge where I saw this cool little tugboat. How cool. Here's my spectacular failure to capture the skyline and America. It's now time for the retail nerd in me to come out. We later passed by an abandoned Rite Aid and the demolition of the Washington Mall, as you can see by these photos that are now playing. But we are now in West Virginia by this point, and we later passed by an abandoned Walgreens. Here's more of that photo compilation along with the Long John Silvers that you'll be seeing later in this video. Hello guys, in the great state of West Virginia. We are here at a truck stop. I would show you the West Virginia sign, however there's people, and I don't want them to know that I'm a nerd. Well, we're in West Virginia now. We just left Pennsylvania. So yeah. Okay, let's go to the next place, or go back on the bus. We would then later travel over some West Virginia gorge thingy. I'll just let the video play with some music in the background. Okay, bye! We later stopped to get food, and right across the street from the Wendy's was a Walmart. And my mom had packed my phone charger in my suitcase. My phone was dying at the time. And since I was on a time crunch, I didn't film. However, I needed to buy a phone charger and a drink. Let's just say I might have made some quote-unquote irresponsible purchases. And after a massive, funny, time gap, we are now inside of a tunnel at night. The reason for this big time gap was because, well, it was a school trip and I wanted to hang out with other people and be less of a Thomas the Train nerd. We'll find out later that did not work. After taking some liminal photos inside the tunnel, it was now night, and well, everybody else was going to sleep, obviously on a bus. And well, this is a tour bus, so not your regular school bus. However, a regular school bus would be a lot more comfier than this was, as there was a seatbelt buckle in the middle of those seats, as it's a tour bus, and tour buses do go far, but not that far. And I am a very tall man. I am almost 6 foot. So trying to lay across only 2 seats by yourself, which is better because other people had 2 people another person sitting right next to them, which that didn't help them to try to sleep, and I at least had something. However, this was a pain because I could not sleep at all. Maybe 2 hours of sleep, and that was it. So I just stayed up for most of that night as we went through the other cities as we passed by them. Stay tuned at the end of the section where you will see a America bridge. So I'll let music play through that as well. The next morning rolls around. I got maybe a little bit more sleep, and I woke up in Florida. My teacher later tells me we'll be stopping at Buc-ee's. And well, I got bucked hard. I'll let some videos play. Well, yes, you know, I got bucked at Buc-ee's. And trust me, you're about to see another massive time grab as we made it to Animal Kingdom. See, the story behind this is that I dropped my phone after we got off after we left Buc-ee's. I dropped my phone through the seat, and behind me were two girls. And I told them, hey, I dropped my phone. And they looked for my phone and they couldn't find it, because my phone was in the most hidden place on the goddamn planet. So I couldn't take any pictures of anything between the Daytona Beach Buc-ee's and Animal Kingdom. So that was bad, because we passed by, since Daytona Beach, Florida, we passed by Daytona Speedway, aka where the Daytona 500 is held. We passed by a mall with a closing JCPenney right beside the road. And we passed by that tower that was talked about in a Bright Some Films video. Okay, instead of talking about all that disappointment, let's get back to Animal Kingdom. Anyways, as we walked into Animal Kingdom, we later passed by the Tree of Life and Expedition Everest. Bum, bum, bum. This photo is from when we first did it the first time at Animal Kingdom. We would later do it 2 times after this. However, let's get on to the other things we did after Expedition Everest. I'll talk about my thoughts later at the other 2 times we rode it. Hello guys, here we have the Mickey Mouse shaped pretzel. I'm going to take a bite. Yeah, I can see why they have cheese with this. It's not that good. It's honestly pretty plain. Luckily I have cheese with this, so 5 out of 10, probably 10 out of 10 with cheese. We then later did a jungle safari tour, which the queue line for that was so massive. Funny. And so I'll just play some music for this section until we get into Pandora. Now, why did I talk about Pandora in such an ominous tone? Well, this queue line took fucking ever to do. I'm not even joking. We were literally standing in there for hours to do a ride that was only like 10 minutes long. That was a motion sim. Oh my god, that line was terrible. However, the ride was good, but the queue line was absolutely terrible. If you see a long queue line for Pandora, do not ride it then. Oh my god, that was the worst mistake of the group of the other people that I was with lives. Oh my gosh, it sucked so bad. After our time at Animal Kingdom was over, we went to Rainforest Cafe and ate stuff. I, for some reason, got a to-go order for Rainforest Cafe. I don't know why, but I did. And, yeah, that was basically it. We then later got to the hotel. Now, this will do it for part 1. Yes, I'm throwing you with a 3-part series here of my Disney shenanigans. We'll be doing part 2, which will be Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Part 3 will be Hollywood Studios and leaving. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say in this part. Expect part 2 to be out soon. So, yeah, goodbye!